Okay, now we need to start processing this map data. So I'm going to put down a subnetwork, and this is going to be our building bases. And we will need to, I'm going to start with by adding a couple of parameters to this, or just one to start with, and it's going to be a float vector 2, and this is going to be our module size. And this module size is going to be far later in this series. We're going to be basically attaching pre-built modules to the sides of our buildings to create our look. And this is just a reference to the scale that we're going to be working with for those modules. So base size, I'm going to do 1.8 and by 3 is what we're working with. Oh, we'll just hit apply, accept on that, and then jump into the subnetwork here. Drag these off to the side, we don't need them, and give ourselves some space. First thing I'm going to do is create a quick attribute wrangle. And this is just going to be set y to 0. And it's going to make sure everything is clamped. It's directly at 0 on y. So we just do at p.y equals 0. Cool. And now we need to isolate our buildings. So we'll do that with a blast. And this OpenStreetMap data has a ton of attributes that we can use. Most of them are useless for us, but there's a couple of useful ones. And what we're going to use, we can go at buildings not equal 0, and then at building underscore part does not equal blank string. So making sure that neither of these are blank strings, and delete non-selected. So it should be building just building. There we go. Cool. Now we've isolated just our buildings here. Now let's also put down a attribute delete, just because we don't need, we've got nearly 400 attributes here. We need like 2 of them. Okay, and what we want to delete is everything apart from, so we just put up this little upwards arrow, height, and building levels. Cool. And that'll leave us with just all of this. Much easier to work with. We don't need any of those attributes really, and we can always come back and add them if we decide we do need them. Okay, now what we need to do is put down a split. So you need to split out the buildings that have height data already. Some of them will, some of them won't. If we view our geometry spreadsheet, you can see some of them have height data, some do not, but all some have levels as well. So we're going to use a combination of this stuff and then just randomly generating heights for ones that have no data at all. So we'll just go at height. It's not equal. And these are all strings, so we're just checking that they're not equal to a blank string. Cool. Now I'm going to put down a wrangle here. Just going to drag this output way down. And this is going to convert height to scale. And we'll just do if at scale. It's going to be, and we want to do this ATOF, which is just converts a string to a float. As you can see if we mouse over, that's what it does. So just put s at height in here. And then we just need to snap the heights to the module size. So snap typing is very good today. Module height snap. To do that, we just do at scale equals rint, so round to int, and then at scale divide by channel dot dot slash module size y. And then we also need to times that by this value here. And that should snap our scales to increments of this module size, which is a handy thing. You just divide it by the amount you want to snap to, round to int, and then times it by that same amount. Okay. Want another wrangle in here. We are going to do some more stuff in here with this other data, but first let's get our scale working for this side. So we want to set an up value. V at up. And then we can just hard set that to be y, positive y. And then we can just poly extrude and poly extrude distance of 1. Make sure we output back, and in local control we can just put in scale. And that's not working. What have I done? Here we go. I need to make sure this is set to primitives. That's better. And now you can see we've got our
height set, just with an extrusion for any building that's got a native height attribute on it already. And you can see New York, lots of really good data. We're getting some really, like it's even got shapes of buildings. A lot of places you'll find just might have height, but they'll just be basic squares. Not too many places have this sort of level of detail in the OpenStreetMap data, and it's partly the reason why I am using this area to work with, because it's giving us these really interesting shapes, and it also really sort of tests the tool, because we have it's quite complex shapes rather than just a bunch of blocks. Okay, we'll stop there, and in the next video we will work on doing the setup for the pieces that have no native height data.